What's up, guys? This is Sim with Vengeance, and I am back here with a game recap. I know this isn't like the one thing I wanted to do, but I was trying to mess with some settings in my recording software, and let's just say that the file was just too messed up for me to get it out to you guys. So I'm just gonna do it this way. I know it's not the most ideal way, so because you guys don't get to see gameplay. That's kind of lame. But we took on New Mexico State, and it was a blowout, 56-21. James Morgan is just the man. He rushed for, I think it was like 271 yards. We barely even passed the ball, but that was the scoring breakdown per quarter and who scored and whatnot. But taking a look at the stats here, 56-21 score, 20 first downs for us to 18 for New Mexico State. Their offense was actually decent, but their defense was just a lot left to be desired. Total offense, and then you have rushing yards, 57 attempts for 377 yards and 6 touchdowns. We also went 5 for 7 passing for 2 touchdowns, 62 yards passing. 9 for 11 on third downs for us, where they went 5 for 8, and they got no fourth down conversions, where we had 2, and we didn't go for 2. We kicked 7 extra points, made them all. They had a turnover, so that kind of helped out early in the first quarter, where they fumbled the ball, and we were able to pick it up in enemy territory. Kickoff return yards, obviously a little bit unbalanced, but even then, it was pretty even, I guess, because we kicked off a lot to them, and they returned it quite a ways. I mean, when you get the ball kicked off to you 8 times, you expect that kind of yardage. So total yardage for the whole entire game was 659 to 524. They had a couple punts. We didn't punt at all. They did have one penalty that went back on a kickoff, so nothing big there. Time of possession, we dominated the time of possession. So now we go on to our stats. Thomas Wilson, 5 for 7, 62 yards passing. Kenny Smith did not start. Thomas Wilson is our starter now. Rushing yards, 42 carries for 271 yards for James Morgan. Thomas Wilson at 13 for 94, also had a couple touchdowns. And even Douglas had 2 carries for 12 yards. Harrison had 2 catches, 16 yards. Even Brian Douglas had a catch for 33 yards. James Morgan also had a receiving touchdown, so he had 6 total touchdowns in that game. And then he had Barnes 1 catch for 5 yards. We had a few pancakes, mainly because of the run game. When you have that kind of run game, you kind of expect your guys up front to just dominate. And our defense didn't really play all that great. We had a couple of sacks. Kenny Bush had a sack. Roger Kane had a sack. Williams had a sack. But nothing really all that great. We didn't force any other turnovers other than that fumble. We'll see, though. Myers made all of his extra points, 8 for 8. Dixon had a really good game on the kickoff returns, 4 returns for 64 yards. Punt returns, he had 2 for 28 yards per return. So that was those were our stats, but their quarterback, Grant, 21 for 32 for 262 touchdowns, no picks. Their running back, Alfonso Washington, had 10 carries for 80 yards. Their quarterback got sacked a few times, lost a total of 16 yards. Richardson had 3 carries for 20 yards. So overall, they only had about 84 yards rushing. So not terrible, but not great either. I mean, the quarterback getting taken down in the backfield certainly doesn't help them at all. Jenkins, you had all these receivers getting all over the place. He threw it to he got completions to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different targets. Granted, that 1 catch for 0 yards isn't really going to mean a whole lot, but still 7 different targets he got to. He had intentions for 8, but I think that guy dropped it. Felder, Wood, and big plays right there up on the line. We didn't force we didn't get any turnovers either, so we played a pretty clean game offensively. They had a lot of guys just going out there trying to make their defense was absolutely awful. I think I saw a guy on their defense that was like a 59 overall. So they didn't have a great game on offense. Owens and Lewis, not really big in the kicking game. 2 punts for them. Return yards, obviously a big thing. But that makes us now 5-1 on the season, 3-0 in conference play. New Mexico State winless. So it kind of just, I guess this video kind of like lessens the blow a little bit, because you know you guys don't get to sit there through a beatdown and you know, like I did. James Morgan just absolutely killed it. Like 6 total touchdowns I think he had, or 5 or 6. I think I'll have to look. I think he had 5 or 6. He had 4 on the ground here, and he had 1 in the air. Okay, he had 5. I can't do math today apparently, so I know this isn't the most ideal way to show you guys a video, but again, I should not be messing with my settings as much, or I'm trying to at least optimize my settings to in OBS and my recording software to make it look more crisp, and I'm trying to make it a lot easier on myself. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this little breakdown, this little recap of the game. I don't know if this game has like any photos for it, but it wasn't that kind of game where it was like a close game, so I'm not all too worried about it. But thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed, drop a like. If you're new to the channel at all, hit that subscribe button. Let me know in the comment section below, you know, if you think James Morgan is a Heisman candidate. Because, my lord, like the way he's performing this season, he very well should be. But until next time, my name is Sin.